basketball is my favorite.
Welcome, everyone, to NBA action here on 2K Sports. Wednesday in the NBA. It's going to be Darren Collison and the Indiana Pacers up against Kobe Bryant and the LA Lakers. And now let's turn it over to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke at the arena. I'll have more for you at halftime.
Two teams, two conferences. It's a road game for the Pacers in this one. It's Laker basketball at the Staples Center. Beautiful day outside. We are live in downtown Los Angeles. It's what you've been waiting for. 2K Sports and the NBA present our Wednesday afternoon affair. State Farm presents the starting five. A look at who we've got on the floor to begin things for the Indiana Pacers. Granger, Hansbrough, and Hibbert are the front court. Paul George is out there with Collison. And for the Lakers, Artest and Powell in the forward slots. Fisher and Kobe man the backcourt. And it's Bynum in at the 5 spot.
When you talk about that great front court depth for the Lakers, all that length, rebounding, their ability to really crash the glass, and they were actually the 5th best rebounding team in the NBA last year in terms of rebounding differential.
So the Lakers win the tip. Backing down is Bryant. Oh, yes, the turnaround. And Steve, you were talking about that differential, 2.5 extra possessions in their favor because of it. And Clark, For the Lakers, already a very good team offensive. With that rebounding advantage, those extra possessions more often than not lead to a basket.
Well, they've got such tremendous size. When you look at Pau Gasol and Andrew Bynum, you throw in Lamar Odom. I mean, those guys are long, really good rebounders at both ends, but particularly on the offensive glass. And you know, anytime you get an offensive rebound, usually those defenders are scrambled, and you're going to be able to get a high-quality shot.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
I was able to speak with Frank Vogel for a minute. He is quite aware of the shot blocking abilities on the other bench, but doesn't want to have his team change their game plan. He said it's okay to have a few shots turned away. If we start changing our offense or second-guessing shots, that is when their shot blockers start to be a major factor. Gentlemen?
All right, Doris, thank you. Taking on a defense like that one they're facing today, Clark has certainly got their attention.
Yeah, you know what, Kevin? I think they're going about it the right way. I mean, they need to dictate what they do offensively instead of taking what's available. Take what you want.
Steve?
Well, that's the only way to go. I mean, this is a game about aggressiveness. And if they're not aggressive, that defense is just going to swallow them up.
He had to fade back on that one, but still got it to go.
And one of the things you love about Andrew Bynum, guys, is his hands. He's got the ability to catch the ball in traffic for a big guy, and then he's so long that he can finish at the rim very easily.
Now, here is George. Open look. Danny Granger, the bucket on the assist by George. Granger's got his first 2 points. And Fisher kicks to Kobe. He feeds it to Bynum. Picked up by Hibbert. Bynum, no good. And Clark, of course, speaking of Andrew Bynum's great hands, he was coached closely by the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar early in his career.
And, Kevin, you could not ask for a better mentor as a young center. I mean, Bynum possesses the same kind of overwhelming length that Kareem had, and he may not be in the same league offensively. Kareem was really special, but he can definitely still score over the top of people.
And the technical free throw is good.
Well, last season, amazingly, the Pacers got their first ever win over the Lakers at Staples Center. Amazing that it took so long.
Here's what the Lakers are going with right now. Matt Barnes is checked in for our test, and Steve Blake is subbed in for Derek Fisher. And the Pacers also changing it up. Foster comes in for Roy Hibbert, and it's Rush in for Danny Granger. Now here's Collison. Passes it to Foster. Just 4 to shoot. That is good. Steve, going back to that win for the Pacers in Los Angeles, you know, Clark, you were there. You saw Roy Hibbert with a huge game, 24 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, terrific number.
Yeah, it was a great night for the Pacers, particularly for Roy Hibbert. I thought it was one of his best games of the season. He actually finished it with a dunk in the closing seconds to put the Pacers up by 3, a big play for him. And I thought it crystallized really a strong third season for Roy Hibbert.
Collison dishes to Foster. Guarded down by Andrew Bynum. Hansbrough, the pass to Rush. He dishes it to George. And the big-time jam. Let's see it again with the Sprite Slam Cam.
Yes, indeedy. Boy, I love that one. That's not just any plain dunk. That has some panache to it.
That's an energizer, guys. That is an energizer.
That is, and that will lift the whole team up.
That free throw good from George.
Well, I love Paul George's game. From Palmdale, California, north of L.A., a 6'8" athletic wingman. I think he's got a chance to be a two-way star in the NBA.
Here's Blake, and Bynum backing in. Gasol kicks to Bynum. Barnes lets it go with a 3. That's good. Barnes has got his first 3 points of the game. Clark, going back to Paul George, drafted 10th by the Pacers back in 2010. They really needed another elite scorer to pair with Danny Granger. And so, Steve, they took a flyer on George.
Well, and I think what's interesting, Kevin, is that they didn't really get the scoring from him, but what they got was an excellent defender. And during that Chicago series in the first round of the playoffs, they relied on Paul George to cover Derrick Rose at times during that series, really utilizing his great length and athleticism on the defensive end.
So the Pacers call timeout, their first of the game.
Well, it's interesting. Once again, late last season for the Lakers, they slumped to close out the regular season, and it seems to be a pattern. You know, it's almost like they get bored before they actually get into the postseason.
Some changes for the Lakers. Lamar Odom is checked in for Bynum, and it's Brown in for Kobe. Danny Granger, he's checked in for the Pacers. Hill comes in for Darren Collison. Here is Hill. 1:12 left to play in the first quarter. And, you know, Steve, for the Lakers, Lamar Odom said himself their sluggish finishes in the second half were partly born of overconfidence, of ego. I don't know much credence you put in that, Clark. What do you think?
You know what? I think there is a tendency, a human tendency, to become complacent, to become full, and you can lose some of your edge. I don't think it's a lack of humility and respect. I think it's just the nature of being somewhat satisfied. And when you're in this league, because people are coming after you a lot harder when you've got what they want in terms of championships, and especially as you age, I think it gets harder sometimes to fight off that resistance and to flip the switch if you find yourself in a little bit of a rut.
And the Lakers have possession. The Pacers making the shot. Picked up by Brown. There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. Hansbrough. Good. The assist goes to Hill. Hansbrough's got 6.
And yeah, they're moving the ball now. 8 of their last 10 points coming off assisted buckets.
Steve, nothing makes a coach smile as much as pure, selfless teamwork.
And there's Gasol. That's good on the assist by Blake.
Guys, you're not going to get away with that kind of defense when he's got the ball. I mean, you got to do better than that.
Plenty of offense in this closely contested first quarter of play. Pacers lead by 3.
Boy, the offense has been so smooth. Everybody working together, and you can tell they're getting good shots pretty much every time down.
Yeah, they're a well-oiled machine there. I mean, they keep the ball moving, they keep themselves moving, and as a result, they're piling up the points.
It's more NBA coming your way. Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. Here is Hill, looking for his first bucket of the game. On the court for Indiana, Paul George and Danny Granger on the perimeter. Roy Hibbert is out there with Josh McRoberts, and it's Hill in at the 1. Granger, good.
Great teamwork out there, really helping each other out.
They're playing as one. I mean, they're like a symphony. Everybody in harmony and in beat and in rhythm. 5 straight baskets now have resulted because of assists.
Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Well, guys, Roy Hibbert had a great start to last season. He'd lost a bunch of weight, addressed an undiagnosed asthma issue, and then looked like a surefire candidate for most improved player. However, as the season wore on, his play deteriorated, and Hibbert wondered if he'd lost too much weight. As the season wears on, guys, it'll be interesting to see which Hibbert the Pacers get. They're hoping he can get the right balance to reach his potential.
I think so, Doris. He's shown the work ethic.
And I agree with you, Kevin. I mean, he's made so much progress physically since arriving at Georgetown. You got to think he'll continue to develop because he's got a tremendous work ethic.
Here's Hill.
Well, you look at this Pacers roster, a nice young blend of talent and size and versatility. They had the flexibility this past summer to add some other nice players. So this team seems to be on the rise.
Here's Fisher. It's a 5-point game. So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles.
He wants to make a few adjustments out there, and he's running through those with his team right now.
Some changes for the Lakers. Gasol comes in for Andrew Bynum. And Kobe is subbed in for Shannon Brown. Indiana also making some changes. Brandon Rush, he's checked in for Granger. And it's Collison in for Paul George. Here's Kobe. And Fisher kicks to Gasol. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Gasol's got his second bucket.
3 straight buckets in the paint. They're making it look effortless.
Well, speaking of effortless, we'd like to see a little more out of the defense. So how about trying, guys?
Gets it to go. And the Pacers lead by 6.
Just zipping the ball around the perimeter. Good advantage for them in terms of points off assists.
Well, they say coaches always talk about how defenses can't keep up with the fast-moving ball, and attacking with the pass makes you much harder to defend.
Kobe Bryant is one of those select few first-name basis superstars in the NBA. Larry, Michael, and of course Kobe, Magic. Those guys are famous by one name only.
First one falls for him. And Steve, you know, Kobe, of course, the man in the entertainment capital of Los Angeles. He's taken the attention in stride. I think he feeds off it a little bit. You know,
sure.
it's you got to have a special psyche to play in that kind of environment.
Yeah, and he's handled it really well. I mean, for a guy who spends so much time in the public eye, it seems as though he's always been motivated more by winning than the adoration. And I think that's why he has such great respect from his teammates. And another reason why the Lakers have been so successful since he's been there.
Now here's Collison. And here's Hill for 3. That falls. Great assist by Darren Collison.
What a marvelous job they've done of sharing the basketball. A ton of assists.
Well, they know where each other is all the time. They're moving the ball, just finding the open guy. Nobody seems to care who scores.
Kobe against Hill. Shot clock at 6. That's good. 6 points for Kobe Bryant.
You know, Kevin, it turned out that Mike Brown was the man for the Lakers job, and he inherits an interesting team here in L.A. I mean, a lot of potential, but coming off a disappointing end to last season.
And the Pacers call time here. We're getting back to Brown for just a second. Clark, you're just talking about him. You know, Steve, he has big shoes to fill. Anytime you're trying to replace a legend like Phil Jackson, there's a lot in front of you there.
Yeah, it's one of the highest profile coaching positions in any sport in the world. But Mike Brown will be prepared. I mean, he had to deal with the circus around LeBron James in Cleveland over those years and did a nice job there. So I think Mike Brown is the right guy for the job.
Andrew Bynum's checked in for the Lakers. Barnes comes in for Lamar Odom. And the Pacers also changing it up. Tyler Hansbrough's checked in for Josh McRoberts. Granger comes in for Brandon Rush. And it's George in for George Hill. Here's Hibbert. Granger outside. They're moving it around. Collison kicks to Granger. And stolen by Fisher.
Well, that's a really slick move to come up with that steal.
And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Well, Kevin, in speaking with Pau Gasol, he feels like the Lakers function better when they're distributing the scoring around. His quote, "I think we're more effective and more successful when our offense is balanced and everyone's contributing." He said, "We tend to get in trouble when the offense gets stagnant and we stand around and watch Kobe." Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Doris. A lot of weapons certainly at the Lakers' disposal.
You know, with the players they have, if you keep moving the ball around, somebody's going to score. I mean, there's just too much talent. Guys, 21-9 were the Lakers last season against the Eastern Conference. They've been within a game of that record for the last 4 seasons. That's really consistently impressive. I like the job they're doing. A much better job of getting him involved in the offense here in the second quarter.
Fisher against Collison. Now the dish to George. Picked up by Kobe. Collison dishes to Hansbrough. The shot's good. Collison making the play. Collison's got 3 assists now in this one. You look at the teams in the East, not many who can match the length that the Lakers possess up front. What am I saying? There are a few teams in the entire league that can match that kind of length, Steve.
Yeah, the Twin Towers, Bynum and Gasol, really the Lakers' trump card. I mean, I think that's the key to this club. They've got to take advantage of those 2 guys this year, beat people up down on the block and on the glass. And if they can improve their defensive work on the perimeter, this could be a great team.
From the arc, and he knocks it down.
Ooh-wee, Kevin. That was a big shot to extend their lead and send them into halftime with momentum.
More from Los Angeles after this.
Happy Wednesday to you. Let's keep your week rolling right along with HP at the half. Indiana with the lead against the Lakers. They've kept the defense off balance with their great passing attack. A valuable contribution so far by Tyler Hansborough. The bucket looks about 5 feet wide for him. He hasn't missed one shot. Can you believe it? There's no quitting the Lakers. They came to win. Points in the paint, definitely in their favor. They stayed in attack mode down low. Kobe Bryant, huge impact. Always a threat to go off in any given game, and he hasn't disappointed. Strong showing so far by these two in the action today, leading their team in points in the first half. That'll end things for us here. We'll send you now back to Kevin, Steve, Clark, and Doris. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. Here's Collison. Howe and Bynum filling up the middle. Kobe and Artest are the wingmen, and it's Fisher in at the point. That's who's in the game for the Lakers. Hansbrough. And again, it's Indiana converting.
And I think defensively, you've got to commit a second defender because he's just destroying you right now.
Yeah, one-on-one, he's been a handful.
Now here's Kobe. Gasol passes to Fisher. Picked up by Collison. 6 on the shot clock. Kobe against George. Impressive fadeaway right there. That's 12 points for Kobe Bryant.
And Kobe Bryant, along with Carmelo Anthony, I think are the two most complete scorers in this league. They can find a way to get the ball in the basket from so many different ways.
Fisher against Collison. Gasol with the steal.
Well, if the defender doesn't buy the pump fake, there's a good chance he's going to be able to tip that ball loose.
Granger gets whistled for blocking. That's his first foul.
That's such a tough call to make as a ref, but I think he got it right. The defender was not set.
Yeah, I thought he was leaning as well, Steve.
Timeout called the Lakers.
They need to make some adjustments because he's absolutely scorching.
Here's Kobe. 12 points for him. And Granger picks him up defensively. That's good. 14 points for Kobe Bryant. Here's Collison. It's a three-point game.
You know, for the Pacers last season, it was encouraging for them to make the playoffs, but it can't obscure the hard work that's still left ahead. I mean, they only won 37 games in the regular season. They would have needed 9 or 10 more wins to make the playoffs in the West, so they've still got a ways to go.
Out of bounds. And they'll keep possession.
Nice defense, poking that one out of bounds.
You know, just a nanosecond quicker, and they would have been going the other way.
And the Lakers with some changes. Matt Barnes is checked in for Artest, and Steve Blake is subbed in for Derek Fisher. And a change for the Pacers. Foster's checked in. Here's Collison. Shot clock at 3. Good work defensively by Gasol. Clark, you mentioned the 37 wins. That was 25 less than the Chicago Bulls team they faced in the first round.
Sure was, yeah.
Steve?
Well, even with that said, Kevin, it was a very competitive series. It went 5 games, but every single game went down in the stretch. Hot start for this club coming out of halftime. That's 3 in a row now.
Granger backing him down. Shoots. Hits the 15-footer. Granger's got 6. Here's Blake. George against Kobe. He goes up, and he finishes nicely on the layup. He's got 16.
Well, it's been a great start for this offense here in the second half. 4 for 4.
Granger backing him down. Covered by Barnes. Oh, that's blocked. The Lakers trail, and here they come. Poked away. It's taken away by Collison, and they're pushing it up. On the wing, Granger, covered by Barnes. Goes straight up. Danny Granger again. Granger's got 4 this quarter.
You can't fault what he's been doing out there. Some really impressive shooting. And what I love about Danny Granger is he's really good at both ends of the floor. A versatile defender. He can rebound. And, of course, offensively, he's dynamic.
He's got so many ways to hurt you. I mean, he is really an offensive force out there.
Balanced scoring, Clark and Steve, for him. They're moving it well.
Yeah, you love to see teams share the sugar. Everybody getting a touch, everybody enjoying an opportunity to score. That makes it a lot of fun for everybody on the court.
You know, it sounds better when you say it than watching it. Okay? I like better when you say it. Sharing the sugar.
Well,
right, Steve?
Yeah, pass the cream, too. I mean, while you're at it. I mean, this has been something to watch. I mean, just everybody getting involved.
Timeout called the Pacers. You know, the one thing that's held Danny Granger back early in his career, he's had some injury issues to deal with.
Yeah, he has, but last season I thought he was pretty healthy, and he carried the burden for the Pacers offensively. If he can get a little help in that area, though, I think it would serve him very well.
And the Lakers with some changes. Lamar Odom, he's checked in for Bynum. Artest comes in for Matt Barnes. And it's Brown in for Kobe. And the Pacers also changing it up. Brandon Rush, he's checked in for Paul George. And George Hills subbed in for Darren Collison. 1:30 left to play in the third. Lake with the steal.
Well, that was a great steal, prevented what may have been an easy hoop.
Brown kicks it to Odom. They now take the lead. Odom's got 6 points.
Well, they really picked up the intensity here since halftime.
I think they got the pep talk in both teams now really going after each other. You know, for so long we've seen the Lakers coast into the playoffs, put themselves in a tight spot and then find a way out of it. But in that series versus Dallas in last season's playoffs, they really looked like a tired and overmatched team.
Now here's Odom. He's got 6, 18 feet away, and Shannon Brown, the bucket on the assist by Odom. And it's a 3-point Laker lead. Here is Hill. They trail by 3. And for the Lakers, Kobe said, Clark, after that series, we've been playing with fire the last 3 years. Now we finally got what we deserve. Steve, that is a very interesting quote. Take it apart for us and delve into it.
Well, I think the Lakers had been to the finals for 3 straight years, and I think they were worn out emotionally. And for a couple of those playoff series over the years, they did play with fire and get away with it. Not last year. Dallas just destroyed them, and I think the Lakers just looked tired, both physically and mentally.
Now the feed to Hansbrough. Feeds to Foster. Outside Hill. Clock at 6. They need this. Plays it up and banks it in. Hill's got 7.
Guys, that's what he does. I mean, he excels at getting to the rim.
Here's Gasol. Unbelievable shot at the buzzer.
Boy, this guy just as calm as can be. Even with the clock ticking down to 0, no pressure.
You gotta love the composure, right? He just didn't seem rushed at all. He just took his time and knocked it down.
And that's it for the third quarter. Both teams scoring well as we head to the fourth. You look at Kobe Bryant in this game, I mean, he has been everywhere.
Yeah, he's done a great job of finding the soft spots in that defense. Very efficient game for him so far.
Yeah, and I like what he's done, Steve. I mean, he's made a couple of jumpers here or there, but What he's really done impressively is allow the game to come to him.
Live from the Staples Center, you're watching 2K Sports. So as we get rolling here in the fourth, let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, for our Sprite Spark. Doris, take it away.
Hi, guys. Well, it was the stretch by the Lakers that garners the Sprite Spark today. A big offensive outburst in the third period is what has them in the lead right now. There's still a lot of work to be done, and anything can happen.
All right, Doris, thank you. That run was a critical stretch, Clark, of the game.
It sure was. I mean, once the pilot light was lit, they didn't let up.
Well, offensively, it all came together for them, Clark, and it really allowed them to kind of take control of the game at that point.
And a look at the five for the Pacers to start the fourth quarter. They've got Paul George, Josh McRoberts out there with Roy Hibbert. Then there's Dunleavy, and it's Hill in at the one spot. Now here is Hill. Backing down is Hibbert. He couldn't stay in bounds, and that's going to be a turnover.
Just a total lack of focus, was not paying attention to where he was.
Here's Brown. Fisher with the ball. He's picked up by Hill. And Fisher kicks to Bynum. And the Lakers lead by 9.
Tell you what, it has been all offense all game long.
You know what? This is really fun to watch, guys. I mean, as a coach, though, this is when you want to just harness this energy and bottle it up and ride it all the way.
Here's Dunleavy. And the ball travels out of bounds. Turnover.
Just a lapse in focus there because that looked to be a pretty easy pass to make.
Some changes for the Lakers. Gasol comes in for Andrew Bynum. And Kobe is subbed in for Shannon Brown. Darren Collison, he's checked in for Indiana. Here's Kobe. Dishes it to Fisher. Outside Artest. Hill against Kobe. Kicks it to Fisher. Launches a three. Gets it to go. They got on this roll a while ago, and they just haven't looked back.
Boy, he set him up beautifully with that assist, room service style.
Timeout called the Pacers.
You know, for the Pacers last season, they really had a difficult time against Western Conference teams. I mean, only going 9-21 in those matchups.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
I was able to listen in on what Frank Vogel had to say to his team. He let his players know that they've got to do a better job on defense. He said, they're scoring any way they want. We've got to show some pride here. Let's make a stand defensively, get us stops, and get on a run of our own. Do they have it in them, Kevin?
Thank you, Doris.
Boy, Kevin, you have to take better care of the ball, and they just haven't done that this half after doing a good job in the first.
Here's the three. They get it again. Another shot. Gasol dishes to Fisher. He's covered by Collison. Gasol kicks to Kobe. Second chance shot. Good look. And Pau Gasol, the bucket on the assist from Kobe. 8 points for Pau Gasol. Pacers trail by 14. Backing down is Hibbert. Hill against Kobe, and Gasol comes to help. 6 to shoot. To stop the drought, and George Hill, good for 3.
Well, they've got to do something defensively because he's been unstoppable.
And defensively, Steve, your only choice now is to double him. I mean, I don't think there's another option.
Backing down is Bryant. The pass to Gasol. That's good, and it's Kobe with the assist. Kobe's got 3 assists in the game. And the Pacers call time here.
Well, he's had enough of that lackadaisical defense. They've got to help on penetration and deny all of these points in the paint.
And some changes here for the Lakers. Andrew Bynum's checked in for Oda. Barnes comes in for Ron Artest. And Steve Blake is subbed in for Derek Fisher. Here's Price. Backing down is Hibbert. Hibbert with the charge. That's his first foul.
Nice job there, sliding over and taking the contact.
You know, a lot of times those kinds of plays change the momentum of the game, and even though they don't show up in the box score, they're significant plays.
Lamar Odom is checked in for the Lakers. Fisher comes in for Steve Blake. Here's Fisher. They can take their time on this possession.
You know, guys, that wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, gives themselves a little break, too.
Catch the breath, you're right. Now here's Kobe. Defended by George. That's good. 20 points for Kobe Bryant.
I love the flow that they've been playing with offensively tonight. This is an impressive performance.
Well, and that lead they have just continues to grow and grow.
Granger backing him down. Puts it up. Right through the D for the layup.
Kevin, he's been a bright spot in what's otherwise been a little bit of a struggle for this team.
1:29 left here in the fourth quarter. Kobe, the pass to Fisher. Back to Kobe, defended by George. Shoots from the right block, and Kobe Bryant again! Kobe's got 4 points in the quarter.
He's a big reason why they have the lead right now. He's made all of his field goal attempts thus far and remains hot from the floor.
Here's Collison. Over Fisher, and there are the Pacers with another bucket.
They could have used this run a while ago. It may not make much difference now.
Yeah, they hit that snooze button a little too much because they showed up late to this game.
Kobe kicks to Fisher. Picked up by Collison. Collison against Fisher. Fades back, and again it's the Lakers.
That's probably going to do it. They are just putting this team away.
Steve, I thought they caught fire just at the right time, blowing this one wide open as the clock winds down.
And the Pacers call time here. They're down by 15. 40 seconds left to play here in the fourth. A platoon swap here for the Lakers. Here is Collison. He kicks to Hibbert. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
I'm just so impressed with the work Roy Hibbert has put in since his final year at Georgetown. He's lost a lot of weight. He's gotten himself in terrific condition. And he's a very skilled player down on the block.
And he makes the first. And Steve, you're right about Roy Hibbert. Last season got off to a hot start. He had lost about 25 pounds doing martial arts. All those different workouts associated with that over the summer. He also addressed a undetected asthma problem, which Clark helped his endurance.
Yeah, it did help his endurance, but I think as the season went on, Roy thought maybe he had gotten too light by year's end, and now he's gotten back up to around 260. And again, it's not just what you weigh, but it's what kind of strength you have and where is the weight. He needs a little more lower body strength to anchor him, and the right kind of weight and muscle is going to continue to allow him to be a very effective center in the NBA.
Here's Ratliff. He feeds it to Blake. Pass to Brown. He passes to Ratliff. Brown, defended by George. And so it's the Lakers taking care of business here. Some days, Clark, everything goes right for a team, and they just had one of those games.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, these guys played a great all-around basketball game here.
Thanks for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. We'll see you next time. And now, our Jordan Player of the Game, Kobe Bryant.